with him, and basically like it was just the two of us, and we had to like act out like a fake date, right? The thing though is, it actually felt like a date. It was really really weird because we were like stuck together for like 2 hours.
Right.
Long story short, I feel like we have like good energy and chemistry, but like I haven't said anything. So I went to the schedule, like hot schedules, got his like the days that he was working, had his number underneath. So then I took his number, I made him a contact, and then I imported my contacts into TikTok and Instagram, and I found his social medias.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that it, or?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So what's the question here?
Like, did I lose the plot? What should I do?
So you went on like a fake date for your job.
Yeah.
And ended up having like profound chemistry with the person you went on the fake date with. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then you found their number, added it to your phone, and then imported your contacts to TikTok so you could find them on social media?
Yeah.
Okay. And like, what was your goal here?
I have no clue.
Were you just curious?
Yeah, honestly, I think that's what it was. I was just curious because I couldn't find him. I'm not gonna lie, I looked him up, but like I don't plan on saying something because he's the man. You feel me? Like I'm not gonna be like, but yeah.
Did you find his social media?
I did find it.
Okay.
Someone might be a stalker.
Listen.
Y'all not
don't
wrong.
even.
I'm not actually a stalker. I just lost the plot.
Don't even feel bad. There's tons of women who actually got into relationships doing something similar. Just bumping into somebody somewhere where they knew he was going to be. It's a little weird when you say it the way you said it, but like it's definitely a common thing. Now, did you follow him?
No.
Why not?
Because then I was like, I don't know if I should follow him or not. Because then you might be like, oh, how did you find it? Because it's not like his username is like a nickname. It's not his actual name.
Okay.
And then have to be like, oh, because I was curious about you. Like that, won't that make me look bad?
I don't think it's not going, like, I think your brain is amplifying it.
Okay.
Like if somebody, I had a woman one time, like, who I met in person in like a group setting, and then she followed me on social media, and she had her friend like find me first, do research to find me, so that she could find my username, and then she added me, which she then admitted to later on. But when I did see that she followed me, I wasn't like thinking like, how does she find me? Like,
okay.
I think women are more so like think in those terms because y'all are more so playing the defensive role. I don't think men really default to that. They're not really thinking about that like that. So if you actually do have interest, I mean, you have nothing really to lose by following him.
Okay, true. Thank you.
No problem, love.
Okay, everyone in here, if y'all not following him, you should definitely follow him. Like, he's like a fountain of wisdom.
I appreciate you, love. You keep me posted on how it goes, all right?
Okay, bet. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You too, dear. Bye. Okay. He will get a notification that you are a contact. Yeah, you might want to delete him out of your contacts first. That's a good call out. That's a good call out. See, but I like when people put some energy in the game. You know what I mean? Everybody else like, I want my man to be delivered to me on my doorstep. Like the stork is gonna fucking deliver your guy to you. There ain't no storks out there. Scott Storch is not about to just deliver your man to your doorstep. Okay? She putting in work in the field. I love to see it. The passion, the hustle, the grind. I ain't mad at it. All right, what other kind of questions do we have? Remember, if you want to call in, if you have a question, hit that button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I'll bring you up. I will solve your issue, okay? Hello. She dipped out immediately. Let me see. Can I bring up a subject in chat? Your thoughts on interracial dating? I don't really have any thoughts on it. It's just like who you like. I will say My antennas go up when your track record is dating a particular race. That's weird. That's weird. It's weird. It's very weird. It's giving fetish. You know, I feel like it's only okay if it's like of your own, because that's like normal. You know, if you're a white person only dates white people, normal. Black person only dates black people, normal. Right? If it's not your own and that's all you date, if you're like a white person that only dates Asian women, what are we doing? That's 1000% a fetish. Not cool. Not cool. My ex had a coworker, this white woman, who was married to this black guy. And I told her, 'cause I just picked up on the vibe. I was like, she would date me and all of my black male friends if we were single. And we're not alike. We're very different. But she would date all of us because we're all black. I could just tell, man. I could just tell. Don't like the vibe. Don't like the vibe. Okay, questions. Again, if you have a question, your mom was like that, Lolo? What's your mom, Lolo? White woman? I thought you were Latina. Huh? She doesn't care as long as they're black. Yeah. I've been in those situations before. They try to say it's my type. Yeah, I've been on dates where it's like a woman will ask me, what's your type? And then I'll start describing qualities. And then I've asked them, this has happened twice, by the way, 2 or 3 times. And I'll ask them, like, what is yours? And they're like, black men. Excuse me? I'm appalled for 2 reasons. One, that was your answer. Two, that you didn't see anything wrong with that answer. Slade, I disagree with you, but I tell you what, I think men collectively don't like you because you keep spamming that comment looking for a reaction. So I'm going to give you the attention you're clearly begging for. Leave that loser shit behind you, please. Life is too short. Life is too short. No one admits everyone thinks I'm Mexican. Yeah, I was about to invite you to Chipotle. I'm a man of culture. So you don't like Chipotle? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Understood. Understood. I was planning our Chipotle date, Lolo. I was like, Lolo gonna love this. Get a little bit of queso. Yeah, yeah. Neptune, ask your question again because I think I missed it. The chat was moving too fast. I'm just so confused. Second date went amazing. He texted right away after, in next 2 days, ghost week. So he ghosted you. Sorry to hear that, love. Thoughts on name calling in a relationship? Not good. Not good. Is that what you're going through? It's disrespectful. You got to set that boundary. For sure. If it keeps happening, exit stage left. Exit stage left. If you're watching on a different platform like Facebook or YouTube, you can also leave your question in the chat. I'll answer it if I do not have a caller. I can see it from where I'm sitting. So you probably see me engaging with TikTok a lot. That's the main platform, but I am going to give y'all some love too. Okay? I'll give y'all some love as well. All right? Yeah, my ex-fiance name called me 3 times after engagement, had to leave. I understand. Feel free to call in about it. Again, if you want to call in, hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I'll bring you up and solve your issue. In the meantime, you can drop a question in the chat. But if you want qualitative answers, high quality answers, it's best for you to call in so I can ask you a few questions. Appreciate you, Latoya. Your boyfriend has a gay friend. They're very close, always indoors together. I got bad news, love. I got bad news for you. Get on prep is what I would advise immediately. Immediately. All right. Got a caller now? Yo.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, man?
So I had a quick. I mean, it's something stupid, but it's just a quick question. Is it so? This is a situation I used to speak to about 3 months ago. Passes, but we was never together or anything. She told me about 3 months ago. I'm not locking her down. She wanna go back with her ex because he hit her up. I was like, cool. She hit me up again just recently. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, she was like everything I wanted, but out of self-respect, is that a situation I should go back to, or because we never dated, so I don't know if I would be losing my self-respect going back or just let it be.
What do you mean by going back? You say y'all never dated, right?
Yeah, we never dated, but we was just messing around, shit like that.
Okay. So y'all like just talking, hooking up.
Yeah.
Okay. For how long?
About 3 months.
Okay. How'd you meet her?
Through Instagram.
Okay. Did it seem like it was headed to something like more serious?
Yeah, that was the plan.
Okay. And she went back to her ex like immediately?
After we together for 3 months, she I don't know, she said, hey, you're not trying to lock me down, I can tell, so I'm gonna go back with my ex because
She said you're not trying to lock her down, she can tell?
Yeah.
What did y'all like do? Was it like just come over to the crib and link?
Go on dates and all that.
Okay.
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
Relationship was based.
Gotcha. Did you ever like verbally confirm that that's what you wanted?
In the beginning, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Regardless, I'm just asking questions because I'm curious. But no, if someone goes back to their ex, that was always an option. If she went back to him, then she was still emotionally connected to him, emotionally tethered. So it didn't matter even if you did commit, she would still have a soft spot for him, which is why she ended up going back with him. If you did commit to that, she probably either would have cheated on you or left you and did the same thing. So yeah, I'll move on, brother.
Sure.
Are they still together right now?
I don't know, but she just hit me up talking about miss you, Luke, this, that. But
I mean, you can still, you know what I mean? If that's what you want to do, I wouldn't commit to this one though.
All right, for sure. Appreciate you, man.
No problem, bro. Take care.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see, Christina. Let's see if Christina connects. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
How are you?
Good. What can I do for you?
Just a quick question. I've been trying to.
CJ, what was up with the delay in reaction? Christina, request back up, please. I get why you did it, CJ. I completely understand because she had like a little low tone at the beginning, but then she like woke up and started asking the question. All right, we're back. Talk to me.
Okay, a person I've been trying to date for like 10 years been saying he wants to be with me, but keeps making no effort. So what should I do?
A person you've been trying to date for 10 years?
Yeah, well, we've known each other for like 12 years, but like he was in a relationship when I first met him. I was too, but we were friends. But then he was like, oh, well, let's make something more of it. But he has not made no effort since. So.
When did he say that? How long ago?
Oh God, he been saying that off and on for like 10 years since he split and I split with my. I mean, we've both had, little flings here and there, well, not with each other, but other people. But he's like, oh, I don't want to be with nobody else. I want to be with you. But it's like I try. I'm like I'm available. I make time to clear my schedule to see him when he says he's gonna come through, but then he never pops up. He never shows up. So.
I got you. And y'all both been single for 10 years?
Yeah.
Why have y'all both been single for 10 years? How old are you two?
Well, I've been single truthfully because it's hard for me to find somebody loyal, respectful, and understanding that I'm raising 2 kids alone. My kids are my life. But I don't know why he's been single for 10 years. I guess because he just can't keep a commitment.
Gotcha.
I'm assuming.
I would tell you this, love. It's possible been single for 10 years because you're keeping yourself emotionally open for this particular individual.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not gonna deny it, but I guess I want more, and I keep giving him the benefit of doubt. But then it's like the doubt becomes more than a benefit.
Yeah, this isn't going to go the way you think it is.
So you suggest I just like don't bother with it no more?
Yeah, I would cut it off completely. Because you've already proven to yourself, like, you'll keep yourself emotionally open to this person, hoping that he'll commit, and then that causes you to get with guys who you probably don't really rock with like that, just to scratch an itch. And it's been a decade of that. And then you say you have kids too, and guess what? Kids watch you, and they kind of pick up on those traits. So that's like creating a generational curse where they'll probably do something similar. So I would cut this person off completely because they're never going to commit to you.
I mean, but like I'm just tired of wasting my time down, So it's like, I mean, even like the fact that we're friends, even like our friendship has kind of depleted a little bit.
Yeah, you got to cut that off because it's not a real friendship. It is something that it's like the foreplay before actual commitment. That's
so
not
it's like
friendship.
the eye before the storm.
Yeah, you're trying. Friendship is just a convenient way to like keep the person around and have a justification around it.
Right.
But doing that is preventing you from connecting with somebody else. So you should cut this off completely.
All right. Thank you for the advice.
No problem, dear. You take care.
Thank you.
All right. We moving. How poetic, Sweet Red. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm great, love. What can I do for you?
Just thoughts, opinions, questions. So, I'm new to the law first off, so I'm not sure if it's like, faith-based, but either way, God is in all our lives. Anyways, this is dude I've been talking to, maybe for like a month and some change now. I'm was on my abstinence walk as well as himself, and we fell into sin, etc. And we talked about it, I repented, moved on, etc. And then there was the incident that came up where I kind of got anxious. The Holy Spirit did reveal to me that I do have an anxious attachment style. However, that led me to being anxious about something. So long story short, like I ended up, seeing him, and he told me that he should have been honest from the get-go because that's what I deserve. I guess like he's not in the emotional capacity space to give me what I need at that current time. Which I was like, okay, cool, because I honestly just wanted to be friends from the beginning. But, things progressed with him, leading into that. And I said, well, you started that, you the one, et cetera, did that. But long story short, now it's just like, should I just leave it alone simply because he still reaches out every day, consistent wise, but I see like sparse texting in between, and it makes my anxiety go off even more, and I'm still trying to like balance that space. So it's just like a thing of, should I completely let it go? Like I've been praying about it, etc. I'm like, Lord, you gave me dreams. I've been left this, situation alone, but I don't know. I'm just trying to decipher, like, just leave it alone, dust it off, take time.
How long have y'all been dealing with one another?
We've known each other for like a year and some change, but we haven't been consistently talking until the past, like, a month and a half, 2 months, going on 2 months.
Okay. How did y'all meet?
We met at church.
Okay.
We met at church.
And then he asked you out?
We've been out, but not like, okay, let's go on a date type time, no.
Okay.
When we literally had a conversation Sunday, and he said, now, like I said, we've been to the park outside, talking type stuff like that, like free events. But he mentioned one time, well, literally Sunday, he was like, well, honestly, I wanted to take you out, but I'm just be honest, I didn't have the money at that point in time. So I understood that, honesty. He's a great communicator when it's time, very self-aware. It's just like, I'm just trying to figure out how to maneuver through this space.
How old are you two?
Both of us are 31.
Okay. And how did you know he was abstaining?
We spoke about it, and we both kind of were on the same page.
Who started that conversation?
Did I do? I did.
Yeah, so
I did.
You told him that you're abstaining first?
Say that again?
You told him that you're abstaining first?
Yeah.
That's what did it, beloved. So, okay. Yeah, there for 2 months, y'all ended up falling into sin, repented, and then after that, he told you he can't give you what you need.
Yeah, but still reaches out every day consistently. So I'm just like, should I just stop reading? You know what I'm saying? Even.
Yep, 100%. Your intuition is correct. So anxiously attached people hate ambiguity. They hate when things aren't clear. And when things aren't clear, it causes you to kind of lean in to get the clarity.
Yeah.
So it's like you could leave, but you want like an answer first.
Yeah.
Just to get that kind of closure. But that's what's keeping you stuck. Because the answer lies in the behavior. What happened here was you told him you were abstaining, and then he just agreed with that because he was trying to get you. Now, magically, after he's done that, now he can't give you what you need.
Yeah.
Right. Like, has there been any kind of conflict in this connection since y'all been together?
So no, we actually like get along, etc. That's just the only thing that like basically when that happened, I felt like that's what kind of messed it up, and that's why I hate that it did happen, because I know stuff like that always get sticky. But other than that situation, it's just like I just rather for people to leave me completely alone, and I voiced this to him: leave me completely alone. If that's, you know what I'm saying, not what you trying to do, or I feel like that you would be moving in that direction.
I got you. How long have you been abstaining?
It's been over a year.
Okay. So I will tell you this. Moving forward, I'm sorry that happened to you because I know that's tough. But moving forward, you don't open that conversation. You kind of find out if they are or not. If they are, they'll likely tell you. If you tell them, it's like you saying like, let's say you were dating a guy who wasn't a Christian, but he was very attracted to you. And then you tell him you are a Christian. Before the date, he'll probably buy a Bible and bring it to the date. Memorize some scriptures real quick. You know what I mean? You don't want to give the play away. You kind of want to observe who they are without giving them a lot of feedback on who you are first and what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Because that's how you can kind of get manipulated. Like nothing changed about y'all's connection other than sleeping together. So him just magically saying he can't give you what you need is where that even come from. It will be one thing if the situation was you started being more demanding, demanding.
So that's what happened. That's what happened.
So that's why I asked, was there any conflict? So, okay, give me all the details now.
Okay, I got you.
Give me all the details before I come to a conclusion. So let me erase everything I just said but the abstaining part, and now tell me what the context was.
So the context was what first started.
Hold on.
Okay. What first started out was I'm a type of person, I don't really talk to many people like that when I'm in a vulnerable space, and I reached out to him this particular time just to kind of like vent type time, but he didn't answer the phone. So I waited a little bit, not trying to jump to conclusions. I was like, I just sent a text like, hey, I didn't know if you were busy, but just wanted to, run something by you real quick. And then he told me like, hey, I'm in a like space right now, I guess him own self. So in my head, like, I guess he was saying that he didn't have the capacity, but it's just like, I feel like vice versa. If that was me, which that's my mistake, everybody ain't like me. But I was like, well, the shoes was on the other foot. Like, I'm listening, you know what I'm saying? I create, that space for you to do so. So that was the first thing where he was, I guess, realized once I told him, like, well, maybe you don't have the emotional capacity to be there at that extent. And maybe that's my fault for not saying anything. That was the first time, but in order for him to say the not being emotionally available, after that conversation, we were supposed to meet up to talk specifically about that, so we could be clarity on both ends. And I guess his schedule kind of got like messed up, etc. So because he had a friend coming in town, I guess to visit, and he still told me that we were going to meet up, so we could have this conversation. But it started getting late. And I'm like, this man ain't say nothing yet. So I start getting like anxious, my mind going. I tried to go to sleep, but I couldn't take it no more. So I literally I just went to his house to get an answer. Like, what are you doing type time. And that's what allowed him at that particular time to say like, I don't think I have the emotional capacity to give you what you need at that point in
Okay.
time. So that's what happened.
I got you. All right. You left out a big chunk of this story.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. So I take back what I said about him wearing the mask of abstaining. That doesn't fit anymore. What does fit is that he doesn't have the capacity. So before you like really cross the threshold with people and try to get, I know you made a mistake, so that's not, give yourself grace for that. But like I often tell people, right, before they get into a relationship, there needs to be like some degree of conflict first. Because you want to see what the person's capacity is. The capacity is just how able are they, how capable are they to hold this connection. There's 3 ways to test capacity, and by test I don't mean you try to test. It should just naturally occur. Okay. So the first one is intimacy, meaning can you progressively get closer with this person and vulnerable? That tests capacity. Okay, so as you date more and more the same person, you'll get closer and closer, cultivate more intimacy. Some people can't handle that and they run. Second way is adding friction to the connection, which typically takes the form of conflict. So if you never had any kind of disagreements, you don't know what their capacity is. A lot of people want relationships, but they want the positive side of it. They don't want the side of it that has any kind of like discomfort. And then once they feel uncomfortable, they take that as a sign to leave the connection. And the third way to test capacity is reality, meaning like logistics. Like, so if you're long distance, okay, who's moving where? If you got children, it's like meeting the children, right? It's like our worlds becoming integrated. Those are the 3 ways to test capacity. So you don't want to make any kind of major jumps in like connection or intimacy in that way or anything like that, especially under your Christian faith, until you know what their capacity is. So this is a person who probably did like you, maybe even was abstaining for real. But one thing we know for sure, they did not have the capacity. But also some people would end things with you if like you just popped up at their house. That's also true. So like some people do have the capacity, but that's like a big no-no for them. Like for me personally, somebody pulled up on me. I'm ending it immediately, because now it's like you may be viewed as a wild card and I don't know what you may do, so I would have to end that connection.
For sure.
Okay, so just to learn it, it's a lesson. Just take it as a lesson and find ways to regulate yourself when you feel anxious like that. Like what I often tell clients is when you feel anxiety, you can't do or say anything. Like I liken it to being possessed, not literally, but it feels like that though, right? Because when you feel anxious, it's like everything becomes urgent.
Yes.
It's like I need something right now. I need clarity right now. I got to do this right now, right? And then after that anxiety passes, you often regret what you did or said.
Yes.
Right? So it's like you got to know that, and you have to realize that like the anxiety always will pass. So let it pass. Tell yourself whatever it's telling you to do, you can do that after you don't feel that way anymore.
Yeah.
Because when you don't feel that way anymore, you likely won't want to do what it's telling you to do.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's what I'll leave you with, love. But there's also a video. If you go to the link in my bio, there's a YouTube video that I made for people who are anxiously attached with my 4 best tips. I recommend giving that a watch. That'll help you prepare for like your next connection. Okay.
So do you think I should just should
Yeah,
I have any more
leave,
conversations?
I would leave this alone. I would not even entertain this anymore, because you're not going to be able to separate that emotional experience.
For sure. Okie dokie.
All right,
Thank you so much.
No problem. Best of luck to you, though. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, we love some details out of that one. I didn't know she was popping tires. I knew she was popping tires, I would have changed my tune. But I'm just joking, obviously. But yeah, that thing with abstaining, like, let them tell you that. Don't you tell them that. Let them tell you that. That's how you know it's true. No, she didn't pop his tire. I'm just joking. But she did pull up at him at his house. Sandra, no, I'm not married, love. Why are you asking so much? Love, what's going on? I actually am. I'm married to Fatima. Actually, me and Fatima are married. Veronica, what's going on?
Can you hear? I've been dating a guy for about a little over a week, and he.
Okay, love, I can't hear you. You gotta. If you call in, you can't have Boost Mobile. You can't have Boost Mobile. You can't have Cricket. You feel me? So. All right, Veronica, I can't hear you, love. So you gotta go respectfully. You gotta open up the router and then hop in the box. Hop in the like open the router up. Don't unplug it. Don't restart it. Open that bitch up and then you put your body in it, and then call back in. And I think that'll help your signal out a little bit. Okay. Again, people, if you have a question, if you have a problem, dating and relationships, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, request up, and I will solve your issue. All right. Do you feel a man should at least call after first meeting each morning or afternoon or evening? I don't like to wait all day for a man to call at night or late to say hello after the day is almost over. Do you feel like a man should at least call after first meeting each morning or afternoon? If you have like a communication preference, that's something that you can like communicate. But people are different, love. Like some people, they don't really need to talk to you daily. Like I prefer daily communication, but I don't need to talk to you every single day. So if that's your standard that you've set, then I would say like you probably should communicate that, because if you haven't communicated that and you're just waiting all day, you're gonna stress yourself out. I want to hear more about this fetish topic in relationships. What more do you want to hear, man? I don't really have more to say on it, to be honest. Kind of said what I said. Yeah, if you're dating exclusively a race that's not your own, that strikes me as fetish-like. So, not a good thing. Not a good thing. I think that life is short. Anything can happen in 24 hours. Okay, what point are we making there? I'm confused. Life is short. Anything can happen in 24 hours. Like you can die? Mm-hmm. Sure. Why they come back but still be inconsistent and he knows I won't accept it? Well, if you allowed him back, love, then it sounds to me like you are accepting it. And he's picking up on that same message. He's picking up on that same message. Okay? Daily checks are needed. Yeah, for you, that's fine. Everybody's different. Everybody moves that way, though. In a relationship, sure. Dating, nah. I just saw your post about anxious attachment. I can't relate. Was it helpful for you? Again, if you have a question or a problem pertaining to dating and relationships, just hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I'll bring you up and solve your issue, guaranteed. When a man don't want to talk to him, hold on. What man don't want to talk to me? Woman every day, at least check in. Plenty, love. Plenty. I'm sure you've experienced that before. I didn't think this would be something y'all would latch on to. What is the big deal? If you want that, then set that standard and don't deal with people who don't do it. What are we talking about? You don't have to deal, like, do you rather complain about it or just choose to deal with someone? You know? Yeah, if you're in a relationship, I'm in agreement with you. I don't really know many people in relationships who like don't talk daily, but like in the dating phase, like I said, that's what I do. My preference is to speak every day. How do I stop being a problem? In what way are you showing up as the problem currently? Can anxious attachment come from your upbringing as well? Yeah, that is where it comes from. I mean, recent research suggests that it may have a genetic component as well, but I think people just trying to be different. Every person I've talked to is anxiously attached. When I ask them about their childhood, they have an anxiously attached childhood. So I would say most of the time it comes from your childhood for sure. Avoidant may start that way and then start talking less. Absolutely. Yep. For sure. Men always get mad at me. I'm starting to see why, love, because I asked you, how are you the problem? And you said, men always get mad at me. So you swap one vague statement for another one. I'm getting irritated. So you didn't answer the question, but I'm starting to see the problem. What about disorganized attachment style? What about it? Ask a specific question. I feel like it has become worse as an adult. Yeah, I can see that. You probably like have a bunch of negative experiences. So yeah, it could definitely become worse, for sure. So I'm fed up right now, Bree. I'm good. Let me see. Do we got a caller? Gabriella. Hello. Come on, Gabriella. Fake me out right then. I don't like that. Don't let me get my wife Fatima on you. She don't like when I'm disrespected. She don't like that. Can you explain like what someone would look like with that type of attachment style? There's a lot of variance. Like fearful avoidance or disorganized are like they have the most variability of all the attachment styles because they're so complicated. I doubt Shiv meant to come up. Let's see. Shiv, did you mean to request? Shiv. Yeah, she didn't mean to come up. I figured because she never requests. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I was the one that was talking to you about the anxiety attachments.
Okay.
And I was wondering, what are some things I can do to work on it?
Are you in a relationship right now?
No.
Are you dating anyone seriously right now? Let's wait for her to come back.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, I got bad news. You can't heal your attachment wounds in isolation. You have to be in a situation to be triggered in order to heal from your triggers. You got to be in a situation where you can actually choose a different behavior instead of the behavior that you typically default to.
Okay. I mean, I just ended a situationship.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized that it was very toxic.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So.
Okay. Stush,
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a clinician, love. There's other clinicians who agree with me, so it's not like you're the representative of all clinicians. So yeah, if you want to heal from your triggers and choose a different behavior, you have to be in a situation to do that. Now you can increase capacity, but I can tell you everything right now intellectually that you can do to regulate yourself. But once you are in a situation where someone isn't testing you back, you're probably going to do the same thing you always have done.
Yeah.
Right? So you say you were in a relationship that was toxic?
Yeah. Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in Yeah, I'm sorry because it just came.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in a situation where it was toxic. We were talking on and off for like almost 3 years.
Okay.
And it just wasn't healthy. In the beginning it was okay. I went to see him twice and then things started going bad last September. Then we stopped talking December to March, and then we started talking again, and then reconnected, and then it wasn't good. It was toxic, and he wasn't talking as much, and he was giving me red flags that he just wasn't interested. But I don't know, to really ignore them, and then it just ended. So.
Okay. What question do you have here, love?
Well, my question is, I heard, about the anxiety attachment.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that there was like a meaning for it until I actually heard about it on TikTok. Somebody was talking about it, and then like what it was, and then so I kind of like put two and two together. I said, oh well, these are some of the things that I am also, how do I say it? I'm also like, I don't know how to say it, like experiencing as well. So like, that's why I had asked you, like, what are some things that I can do to like, kind of just like get myself up, like,
I can tell you what you can do. Hold on, love. Hold on, calm down. I can tell you what you can do while you're single, okay? The best and most profound move you can make while you're single is to build a life that has meaning. Meaning. You build redundancies. You have other things going on in your life that fill up your cup. Because what anxiously attached people tend to do is they make the other person their entire world. Okay? They make the other person their entire world. They orbit that person emotionally. Okay? So you get into a relationship, you ain't really got nothing else going on, so now you waiting all day for a phone call. You need that person to make you feel good because you have nothing else in your life to make you feel good. Okay? So I would take advantage of this season of solitude by finding ways. Like, the best advice that's typically given to anxiously attached people is to pretend like you would never be in another relationship. Just pretend. And then ask yourself, what can you do to still be happy? And then whatever the answer to that question is, do that. Build that life. So that when you do get into a relationship, you likely won't be so anxious. It's not going to solve the full problem. You're still going to struggle with ambiguity. You're still going to struggle with not having clarity. But you will effectively increase your capacity, where you likely won't be triggered as much. Okay? So that's what I would do if I were you. I would like get clarity on what your values are, what is important to you in life, and then I would connect those values. I would build your life around those values.
Okay. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not saying that like I'm sitting around waiting for a phone call or waiting for a text. Like I work, right. I garden. Okay. You know what I mean? I keep myself busy.
But understand, but here's the thing.
Other stuff too.
Busy is different from doing things that are meaningful.
Okay.
Right? So being busy is something that some anxiously attached people do, and it does help. But the better step is going to be things that are meaningful, things that validate you, that make you proud of yourself. Okay. That's going to be a better course of action than just trying to find busy work to do. I had a client recently, he was telling me how he was really anxious in his current relationship, right? And I asked him, was he as anxious in the rest of his relationships? And he was like, well, there was one situation where I wasn't as anxious, and it was with my girlfriend who like actually cheated on me. She cheated on me because I was so anxious. We broke up, and then we got back together. And he said, when we got back together, I wasn't really that anxious no more. I said, so what's different about that situation and what your current situation. And he said, well, when I was in the previous situation, I was playing hockey at a really high level. So he was like an almost pro hockey player. And that was his focus. That was meaningful to him. So because he could engage in that activity, which held meaning, he was less fixated on the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. And that made, he wasn't questioning what the person was doing because he had his own thing going on. He wasn't questioning why they weren't responding to texts because he had his own thing going on. He didn't give them a text to respond to, right? So that's kind of what you want to build in your situation.
Okay.
Is meaning. And you can do that while single. And that you're still going to be anxiously attached. But it will help you not create the conditions where you're triggered as much.
When you say things that are meaningful, could it be like I've been thinking about doing like a career shift.
Okay.
And going back to school.
Okay.
But also not only that, like I want to like get more involved in the community as well. And I don't know. I want to like be more, I want to travel. I want to have like, I don't know. I just want to do more.
I got you. I would start with getting clear on your values. Values are essentially just what is important to you in life. Give you some of mine. I'm family oriented. I'm growth oriented, right? I like contribution, helping people. Okay. Health and fitness is also something that's important to me. So I built my life around those activities. So I could be having a bad day, and if I hop on a client call and give them an aha moment, then that helps me. I've actually been dating when I've ran this coaching business, and I've been anxious because I come from anxious attachment origins as well. I've been in a situation where I was actively anxious, and then I got on a client call and then felt a lot better because I did something that like poured into my cup that was meaningful to me. Okay?
Yeah.
So for you, I would say don't start with like, what should I do? Start with what's important to me. What are your values? Once you get clarity on those, you don't have to make a list of 10. Make a list of 3 just to start. And then once you know what those values are, now connect those to activities or behaviors or hobbies or actions. So if health and fitness is a value of mine, going to the gym is me doing something that feeds that. If being family oriented is a value of mine, taking my son and nephew on a vacation feeds that. If contribution is a value of mine, getting on lives and talking to people like you and helping them feeds that. You understand? So get clear on those values first, and then everything else extends from that.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
No problem, dear. You take care.
You too. Bye.
All right. That was a good little combo. Hopefully she got some value there. All right. Let's see who else is next.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great, love. What can I do for you?
So, I live in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm born and raised here, and I have been single for 3 years after a 10-year marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And so dating, getting back into it, for the reason I have chosen to stay single since my divorce is because I wanted to stabilize my own life. I have 2 kids.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure that, the 3 of us were set, that I was taking care of my mental, physical, emotional well-being with my kids as well. And I think the thing that scares me the most about thinking about starting to date again is that there's such polar opposites of men here. So I'm 35, and either the men are hyper religious or there are a lot of Mormon people still out here in Utah. So they're either really into, their religious side, which again, I left the church. I was raised Mormon, but I left it. If somebody wants to stay LDS, that's fine, but they don't like to date outside of their religion. Mm-hmm. And then the opposite side is it's almost like they're rebelling against all of that. They just want, body counts. They're just trying to sleep with people. They're not trying to start anything real. So it's been kind of Honestly, I've just been so hesitant because from what I'm seeing, it just seems like there's not a lot of happy medium between those two polar opposites.
Okay. How are you meeting men currently?
So I tried a couple of dating sites. I don't like that at all. So for me, it's been I have a couple social friends that have things set up and I'll tag along with them. So it's been going out to like downtown for some drinks, or we go for like an afternoon coffee with like some people. And so I've started to meet a lot of people through mutual friends. But other than that, it's been kind of sporadic when I meet people.
Okay. So, yeah, the dating apps are out. So I'm glad that you decided to do away with that. And you said that now your primary way of sourcing men is through friends.
Yeah, well, just as long as they're people that, my friends or family have at least known a little bit, so that it's a little vetted and not so like just hookup culture or trying to, have ulterior motives when I really do want to find a meaningful relationship with somebody.
How many men have you met through family and friends?
So only about 5.
Okay.
I've been taking it really slow because, again, I'm just not that type of person that can do that anyway. And I am pretty shy, but like with the past few years after my divorce and just figuring out more of what I can and cannot tolerate and what I will and will not tolerate has helped a lot of that. So having it be through family members and friends has been good, but that's really, the only thing.
And those 5 guys fall into those 2 extremes that you listed out at the beginning?
Yes.
Okay. So you need an additional way to meet men. I would still meet them through the way that you're currently doing it, but you have to have another option, right?
What would you suggest?
So I think that meeting people organically is the best way, and there's 2 ways to do that. You can put yourself in dynamic environments or static environments. So dynamic environments are environments where every time you go, you see different people. That is not ideal. Dynamic environments typically filter for people who are more interested in short-term dynamics, bars,
right,
clubs,
just
things
culture,
like that.
Kind of stuff.
It's not a guarantee, but the probability is higher. Second environment is static environments. Static environments are the complete opposite. Those are environments where every time you go, you see the same people over and over again. Now, that positions you to benefit from what is called the mere exposure effect, which simply states that the more touch points that you have with the person, the more interactions you have with them, the more you can develop a liking toward them, which you probably have experienced.
Yeah, I can totally understand that.
Right. Now, here's the thing. You want to be strategic with this, though. So the benefit of static environments is, one, it leverages the community approach. That's how we have historically connected, through community, which you're kind of doing already with the family and friends. You're just doing it in a different way here.
Right.
But 2, you can benefit from the environment itself filtering the type of person that you're looking for. I'll give you an example. So I was talking to a client who told me that, she was someone who liked to pour into her career, right? She liked professional development, and she was looking for a man who was ambitious. So I asked her, was she familiar with Toastmasters, which is an organization that teaches you how to publicly speak. It's a static environment. That environment, if she was to place herself in that environment, she would do 2 things. 1, she would check the box of professionally developing herself. So even if she didn't meet a romantic option, she still has done something.
It was a win-win situation either way.
And then 2, the men who are going to be in Toastmasters absolutely are going to be ambitious. Doesn't guarantee you're going to meet your husband there, but
you meet like-minded people.
Exactly. So when you do that, the goal is not to meet a man. The goal is to just spread positive vibes and connect with people, because you want to increase the surface area of serendipity.
Okay. I like that.
So the more people that you know, the more doorways you have to potentially meet your romantic option. You may meet someone at a static environment who's married, and then the husband has a friend who was divorced a year ago, and now he's ready to date.
Okay,
You
yeah,
see?
that does make sense.
Because dating problems are essentially social problems. The
Yeah,
problem is
and I
people
get that.
don't think of it as social problem. They think of it as a dating problem, which is why they download dating apps
But
and
it's
stuff
all
like that.
connected for
Right?
sure.
The more socially connected you are, the easier dating is going to be. So this static environment approach will up level your quality of life in general if you approach it the right way, and then a byproduct of that is connect you with someone who you could be romantically involved with.
Okay, I do like that, and I never put two and two together that way and had it click like that, because I have two friends that are very social. They're the ones that love to set up get-togethers. They're not like these crazy parties. It's more like
Right.
a group of people coming together to just have some food, have some drinks, and hang out. But those are my only 2 points at this time, and so I would have to be based on just how many events or things that they put together on their own. It's not super often, and so I'm not sure how to find things outside of that.
Yeah, this is definitely going to involve you potentially getting out of your comfort zone. So what I often have clients do is just draw two concentric circles, right? On the left column, you essentially list out things that you're interested in and maybe even your values. On the right column, you list out the qualities of the man that you would like to have. And then when those two circles intersect, you list out the static environments that select for one or a couple of traits in both columns.
Okay,
And you
I
start
love
listing
what
them
you
out.
just said. I actually want to write it down. I'm grabbing a pen because that I feel like will help my entire mindset at least try to be more social, because I do get shy, and I want to be a more social person, but I know I have to get out of my comfort zone because I'm staying here to stay comforted, and I don't want to do that anymore. So if you could just repeat that, I would love it.
Sure. So draw two concentric circles, two circles that intersect. On the left column, you write what you're interested in and maybe what a few of your values are. In the right one, you list out the qualities that you want your man to have. And then where they intersect, you list out the static environments that select for traits that are on both sides.
Okay.
Right? And
Thank you so much for doing that.
Get creative with that, right? So the way that I did it was I joined a meetup group in Raleigh, North Carolina. They had like various meetups within it, and I would go there. But that started as like a digital community, right? What I'm doing right now, I know you're probably new here, but I do these lives every day at noon and 9 p.m. Eastern time. This is a static environment. It's a digital static environment, but it's still a static environment. Me and a couple of people from this live are actually meeting up in Dallas, Texas in August, right? So we're taking the digital community and then meeting it in the real world. So you can look at Facebook groups. Maybe there's Facebook groups that have a digital presence, but then they also meet up in person. There's a ton of potential here. Just list them out, list it from a list of like highest priority or highest likelihood of working to least likely, and then just start going and knocking them out.
Okay, yeah. So thank you so much. I actually really appreciate that. I'm definitely positive, like I'm hopeful. And I just know I need to push myself to get out more. I know I am too introverted, and if I want to meet somebody, I have to be out to do that.
That's it.
So I appreciate your time and being willing to talk to me. That was very valuable. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, love. Best of luck to you, all right?
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. All right, people. If you are wanting clarity on your situation, you want a step-by-step roadmap so that you know exactly what to do in your situation, exactly what step to take so you'll stop spiraling and playing out the same patterns for years and years and years, you should book a coaching call. You can do that by looking at this icon right here. There's a button that looks like it below. Just hit that, DM me the word coach, and I will tell you exactly how you can book your call, okay? And when you be in Dallas, we're going August 14th through the 17th. We actually had a raffle for the chat for you newbies here. We had a raffle, so we had 5. We booked the Airbnb. Me and my boy Danny booked the Airbnb. We have like 4 or 5 people from the chat coming, and then we also have all of the mods coming as well. There are a few other people who are flying out and just getting hotels to link up with us, but it should be a good time. Definitely should be a good time. Okay. Let me see. Do we have any other callers? Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great, love. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to run a situation by you. The verdict is pretty much in. Long story short, was with this guy for about 6-7 years back in our like mid-20s, early 30s. He wouldn't commit. So I left him. Otherwise, he was a pretty good guy, but, you know, he has mama issues. So that's the only way that I could explain it. We couldn't put our finger on it back then. But we broke up. I got married maybe 2-3 years later. He turned around and got married a couple years after me. But then he spent the block, as they say. I got married. Let me backtrack. I got married. He got married. My husband passed away about 3 years ago.
Okay.
He miraculously showed up. Hey, you know, how you doing? One of my friends probably put him on to the fact that my husband passed away.
Okay.
But the thing was, instead of just being there as a friend, as a support, you know, because we were pretty close, he did all of this love bombing. He still loved me. He never stopped and all this kind of stuff. And hey, I'm sleeping in the guest room and I don't want to be married anymore. But, you know, we went out on a few dates and, you know, truthfully, we did kind of kiss a little bit and that was it though. So, and my senses, because I was very vulnerable and very shaken at the time, right? This was like 2 months after my husband passed. He passed suddenly and I was just all over the place emotionally. And we went on a few dates and, you know, I kind of put the brakes on things like, hey, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You know, either you're in an unhappy marriage and you're going to, you know, take the course to end that and maybe come back and talk to me, or you're not, but you're not going to monkey branch over, you know, put your foot in over here and let's go with the flow is what he said. You know, it's like, no, we ain't doing that, dude. But I guess, I think I've romanticized him. There's always been this place in my heart, even while I was married. And that's been like reopened, I guess. And I've gotten no contact. I haven't talked to him in about 9 months. Haven't broken it at all, but I just can't get him out of my head, you know? And maybe that's because there's no prospects right now. I'm not dating or anything. Mainly because I think nobody is going to be able to rise to my standard.
Okay.
So I guess kind of my thing is, you know, how do I completely just, you know, I've moved on physically by not contacting him, not allowing him to contact me, etc. But it's like, I'm, I guess, pissed at myself because I'm like, I can't stop thinking about this food.
Right. Okay. So do you like follow him on social media or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
None of it.
Yeah. So this is the last man that you have romantic feelings for.
He was like the love of my life.
And were y'all ever in a relationship?
We were in a relationship for 7 years.
Okay. 7 years. And then you left for what reason? You said something about his mother, right?
No, he wouldn't commit. So, you know, I felt like, or
What does
I
that
feel
mean?
like now he had mommy issues. So he was afraid of, you know, committing and, you know, I don't know. That's just my theory. It could have been he wanted to just run his roster. I don't know. You know?
When you say commit, do you mean marriage?
In marriage, yes.
Okay. So y'all were together for 7 years, and then you wanted a ring, and then he didn't give it to you, so then you left.
Correct. After we fought about it for 2 years or so.
Okay. And then what makes him the love of your life? Like, what do you like about him?
I mean, all kinds of things. Well, physically, that's a strong suit. We have a good time together. We joke and laugh. We kind of share similar. We kind of like kindred spirits, I guess you can say. Yeah, I mean, it was a good relationship from my standpoint. I don't know what else he could have been doing. I'll never say never on what somebody's doing. But while we were together, I never caught him in anything, you know.
How many
And
relationships?
it just all went to shit when, I mean, I'm sorry, TikTok. It all just went to hell when, you know, the whole let's get married thing was on the table. And he felt like, you know, men control the cards for that. And, you know, you have to wait and you be patient with me until I'm ready to. And it was like, no, dude, you've all the patience has run out. You've had like 5 years at that point.
And how old were you two at the time?
I was, when everything kind of went downhill, maybe 28.
Okay,
And he was like 34.
gotcha. And how many relationships have you been in?
I mean, since then, I mean, he and I got together when I was about 23. And I am 53. So since then, my husband of 18 years who passed away, and this guy.
Okay, well that's why. So when you say he's the love of your life, even above the husband? So yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
So-
mean, it sounds terrible, but yeah.
But I mean that's two people. So you've had two experiences. That's not really significant. So okay. And how long have you been single at this point? Like how long has it been since your husband passed?
Almost 3 years.
Okay. And you've not done any dating outside of that?
Very briefly, I did try the dating app thing, and I was like, "This is trash. I'm not
Don't do
doing
that.
this."
Don't do that. So the whole love of your life framing, I wouldn't frame it that way. If
Yeah,
you even start in like the words that we use control our emotional experience.
yeah,
So if you frame him as in your mind as the love of your life, you're going to start creating a narrative that matches that experience emotionally. So don't do that anymore. This is just
Okay.
someone who you had the best connection with so far out of two people. That's more grounded in reality. Okay.
that's fair.
So I would say that, and then two, I would not trust somebody who is trying to jump from their failing marriage into another one and then professing love. That sounds like somebody who's in survival mode.
Yeah, yeah,
Like the
yeah,
healthier thing to do would be like to leave the situation. If he wants to get a divorce, be alone for some while so he can like integrate that experience, learn the lesson, reflect. I can already tell you by him already trying to jump to you, he doesn't reflect. He doesn't look and try to learn from his mistakes. I guarantee you he doesn't do those things because he's already trying to distract himself with getting involved with you. Which means if he doesn't do those two skills I just listed out, he can't be a good person to be with.
yeah,
Because you would
yeah.
need to have those character traits if you were going to be a good person to be with, amongst others, right? So it's destined not to be a good person to be with. So your best bet. Were you here when I told the previous caller about static environments and everything?
Yes,
Yeah,
I heard that.
that's the same role. That's the same playbook I would give you.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I just need to. I mean, if I could just stop thinking about him, even though it's
will.
occasionally.
You will once you have a more significant connection with someone else. Like you can't really think about your husband. I mean, you can think about your husband, but he's passed, right?
And I do,
Right.
and I do, but it's
Right.
different.
It's a different thing because he's not here anymore. So
Yeah.
the only other option is this person. I had a friend who actually got locked up in high school, and he stayed locked up for 16 years. And he broke up with his girlfriend in high school like probably 2 months before he went to prison. And then right before he was 2 years before he got out, he started writing her, professing his love to her, right? And this is like a really like attractive guy. The girl, not so much. Okay, at least at this point in time. So when he got out, like they got into a relationship while he was in prison. He got out, she gets pregnant, and then as he got out and started seeing all these other women he could deal with, he wanted nothing to do with her. Because what he didn't understand was, considering that she was the last emotional experience he had romantically, he amplified that in his head when he was deprived of any romantic connections. So while he was in prison, she was the love of his life. That's a story he told himself. Once he got out and things went south with them, he quickly moved on to other women. And I guarantee you he would not say that this woman was that significant to him at this point. So that's what's going on with you right now, right? Without the prison element, obviously. Yeah. This is just the only other option you've ever really had a significant bond with. So obviously it's going to be who you think about when you feel lonely.
Yeah.
So all you need to do is meet other people. It's been 3 years of you being single, so I don't think you really need to like sit in solitude anymore. Just do the static environment play and start meeting other people. And then eventually you will meet someone who you have another strong bond with. And then as they become more emotionally and psychologically significant to you, the tether that you have to him will be severed.
Okay, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
No problem, dear. Best of luck to you, though.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Take care.
You too. All right. I feel like it was later than it is. I was about to say no more callers, but I got to keep going. It's not 10:30 yet. Not yet 10:30. Hello. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Is that me?
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
Did you mean to come up?
Hello. Okay, can you hear me?
I can. What's going on?
I'm in a predicament. I have been single for 19 years. I'm emotional. Haven't dated in forever because I put my twins first.
Okay.
And I just lived about my kids. And, but I got myself in a predicament, and I've been having an office affair, for 4 years, and I didn't catch it. You know, it just, because I was low-hanging fruit, I guess, and I liked the attention, and I fell for this guy, and I feel guilty because that's not what I believe in. My dad had an affair, and that was totally against everything I believe in, and now I'm here stuck, and I don't know how to get out of it because I caught feelings, and I'm so sad that I hurt a family and they don't know about me, but now he's gonna be my boss, and it's just a mess, and I'm not a bad person, but I'm sad that I fell for him, and I'm sad that I am not a bad person. I was just alone for 19 years, and I don't even know where to begin, but that's what I'm about right now. I don't even have a question. I'm just depleted.
Okay.
I don't know how to face myself.
Okay. All right. So, where do things stand right now in the situation?
He's hot and cold. I'm just his vessel.
Okay.
Him and his wife, whatever, I know, I never asked about her. I'm always worried about the other women at the office and all the other stuff he's doing. And he even tells me, like, you're jealous about this person, but you're not jealous of my wife, but he never talks about her, so she didn't exist. And then now something came up, and there's a real life. He has a real life that I did not see for 4 years. But I worked with him for 18 years prior to this. So there's a lot of history where I've always been his friend, and I've always stayed away, and I don't know how I got there. Just one day, and he said, well, you always flirted, but I didn't flirt. But then one day I was just alone at a football game, and I text him, and then it turned into a thing, and then it turned into another thing. And now I'm embarrassed, but I actually really, truly like him, even more than that. But I value myself more, and I was like, I don't know how to get out of this without feeling humiliation, feeling bad for the wife. I'm just so consumed, and I was always worried about everyone else except for myself, and I was always thinking about how would I make everybody else feel, but I never thought how I'm gonna feel when I'm left alone. So I know I'm going in circles. Sorry. You're just so calming. That's why
Okay.
I reached out to you.
I got you. So, all right. So you're still engaging with him currently.
Yeah, and I have to now because I got reassigned, so he's going to be my direct boss.
Okay.
Before we weren't, well, we just always been co-workers, and now we're going to be directly working for each other.
Okay. Have you tried to end things?
I'm sorry?
Have you tried to end things with him?
Have I tried what?
To end things with him.
Well, yeah, but our chemistry is so... We're so engaged with each other. Like, it's so... Even we're very professional, but we're just... Yeah, it's complicated. It's a natural thing. I leave work early. I stay away from him. But then... And he does too. But it's just we have this attraction to each other.
Okay. So when y'all do connect, who initiates that, you or him?
Probably me.
Okay.
I just see his look and then I know it's me. Yeah.
Okay. So you're the one keeping this alive.
And then when he sees me pull away, then he comes and sends me a text or whatever. So it's both of us.
He sends you a text saying what?
That what?
He sends you a text saying what?
Well, just the regular, just how was your day? How are the kids? What's going on? Just trying to keep me there. Just that little grain when he doesn't hear from me for 3 days or whatever. But then we go to the office and sure enough, we see each other.
And you say you worked there for how long?
I've been working with him for 18 years.
Okay.
And the affair's been 4 years.
And his wife knows about you?
No,
She
not
doesn't?
at all.
Okay. So his wife doesn't know that he's cheating?
She thinks he's cheating with someone else, and I think he is with her, the other person.
Okay. Okay.
I think he's a cheater, a serial cheater.
Okay.
And I thought I was the first because he's just, I messed up. I'm the bad person.
Okay. So what do you do for a living? You don't have to give me like super specific. What type of job is it?
Oh, if I say it, then everybody will know who I am. It's financial, DOD stuff.
Okay. Have you tried to work anywhere else?
No, I won't. Because I put so much, 20 years of my career and 8 minutes to my job. And now I only have like a few more years to retire.
Okay.
So that's why I say I'm not going to. It's just, I messed up.
So when y'all connect, it's via phone. Is that the means of communication?
Personal, we see each other every day. We laugh. I'm one of the guys. It's just a good time.
You're in a tough one, love. It's a tough situation because the environment that you're in pretty much is guaranteeing that you're going to keep dealing with this person. You're essentially an alcoholic at the bar. And you're telling me that you can't leave the bar.
It's an addiction. That's right. I know what you're saying.
Right.
I think he has that same addiction. But we're kind, we're friends and all that stuff, but we just crossed a line. But I don't know how to get out of it because that's not the person I am.
Well, we're defined by our behaviors and our actions. So you can't murder someone and say you're not a murderer. So the best course of action will be to find a way to leave this environment. If you can't do that due to the time that you have invested, have you ever verbally cut things off with him?
Oh, a lot of times.
And how did
We
that
went
go?
like 3 months without talking to each other.
Okay, and then what happened?
And we found our way back.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we get along very well. It's just, yeah, just the circumstances. And I don't want to hurt anyone.
That ship has sailed, though, love. That ship has sailed.
I know. I'm sorry.
Let me see. Yeah, you're in a very tough situation. You're in a very tough situation. No, I mean, it's tough because I understand like the emotional experience. The answer is just simply to stop. That's what the answer is. But again, you're an alcoholic in a bar. So stopping is going to be very difficult. You could also try to date other people, but you've already created this love story in your head of who this person is based on even how you're describing him. So even dating somebody else is not going to solve this problem because he's very emotionally you're in a love story right now of your own creation.
Yeah.
And you're probably not going to
here's
stop
the
that.
deal. Like, before we even got into this, we had a contract. I could date because I'm single. And I've been going on dates, but they're worthless. They're not anything. Like, it's just a waste of my time. So he's my filler. That's how it kept me happy. Like, I would go on dates, but I knew I had somebody. Isn't that weird? But because he went home to his wife and I'm single, so I'm allowed to date. But there's nobody here to date in my little town that is worthy or hasn't been with everyone.
I mean, but you describe that as if the alternative is much better.
No, it wasn't. I thought that because I was by myself for 19 years and I did everything right. I never cheated. I was always doing the right thing, and everybody always backstabbed me, and I was always alone. And then when this guy came over, well, when this happened, he was always there. I always told my stories to him for 16 years or whatever, and I would see him talking to him, and I'd be all, they would say his wife doesn't like me. I said, I wouldn't like you either. You're hanging around with a married man, and then I end up there. That after 16, that just disturbs me. Like, how did I get there when I was doing the right thing forever? And I just said, like, I'm always doing the right thing, and screw it, nothing good happens to me, so I'm just gonna do something for myself. But it didn't. 4 years later, it doesn't make me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
But I finally just was bad. That's because I was always doing the right thing. You know, my dad had an affair after 32 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that destroyed our family. And that's why I was so angry. And, like, if my mom and my brother and everything, they would know that what I was doing, it's so horrible. It was never in my values. I used to walk into the building with integrity because I knew what all these soldiers and everybody was doing. And I was like, I don't want to be a part of this. And I would just go work, come home, and take care of my kids. We'd fly. I took them to Alaska. We would go everywhere. And then when my kids graduated, I end up here. Like, what did I do? I was always walking with integrity, and now I just lost myself, and I want to get out of it. I know you said to stop, but I'm just so sad. I stopped going to church. I used to go to Bible study. I was never a secret. And I would tell everybody at work, I'd be like, why would you want to be a secret? You're not a secret. And now I'm a secret? How did I become that person that I would tell everybody not to do?
Right. So you're wasting your time trying to figure out the answers to that. All that energy that you're spending trying to figure out how you got here will be better served figuring out a way out of it.
Yeah.
That's where you need to focus all your time and attention. So beating yourself up, all that kind of stuff, you can do that later. First step is get yourself out of the situation. If you does your job have any kind of like rules in place for dealing with employees romantically?
Oh yeah. Well, it'll ruin everybody's life, so that's not gonna happen. This is top secret. Like.
Okay. And if that was to happen, how would that impact you?
It would impact everything.
What specifically?
I wouldn't have a job.
Okay. And then what?
His retirement, his military, everything would.
No, think
and I
about
would
think
never
about
wanna
how
do
it's
that
going.
to their
Think
family.
about how it's going to impact you. So you wouldn't have a job, and then what does that mean?
Then I would lose my truck, my house,
Okay. Okay.
everything that I built.
And how does that affect your kids?
But they're okay because they're all grown up now.
Okay. How old are your kids?
I'm sorry.
How old are your kids?
I have my twins are 19 now,
Okay.
but so they're on their own.
Okay.
I think that's why it's hitting me harder because I've been a mom since I was 16.
Right.
I have 4 children, and I've been alone without a man for all that time.
Right.
But I've never been alone with no one in my house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I can live without a man.
Mm-hmm.
I built my life without a man. Nobody's giving me money or whatever. I have beautiful things. I take care of myself.
Let's focus on the impact of you potentially getting fired. How does that impact your kids emotionally that now mommy has lost her house and her car?
Oh, that would devastate them.
Right. So is all of that worth the small pleasure that you get from dealing with this person?
Not at all.
Okay. So if I were you, I would make a list of everything you just listed out.
Okay.
And then anytime you want to reach out, first I would end things with him.
Okay.
He's not going to care because he has other people he can deal with.
Yep. He gets to go home.
So you need to end things with him. And then 2, anytime that you want to reach out to him, I need you to look at that list. Oh, because this does end with this shit being exposed. Don't think it doesn't. So you keep tempting fate, she gonna come a knocking. You keep going, you're playing with fire, it will effectively ruin your life. And then you're gonna lose him. Because you're gonna lose him regardless, right? So you're gonna lose him, and then you're gonna lose everything that you've built. And then you're gonna be a burden to your kids. And then you think you're sad now. You think you're calling yourself a bad person now. Wait till that happens.
Yeah.
Okay? So list out as many reasons, emotional reasons, as to how this can be a negative situation, how this can negatively impact you. List them all out, and you keep that on hand. I don't care if you got to keep it in your pocket. I don't care if it has to be your screensaver on your phone. Whenever you want to reach out to him and you feel that loneliness, you look at that wrist and you read everything on it. Now with that, you need to build a life for yourself, because right now you are alone and you're feeling the void with this situation. So you need something else to fill the void. You can't remove a behavior without replacing it with something. The law of equivalent exchange, right? So you need to fill that void with something that builds instead of destroys. So you need to find something meaningful that you can engage in, considering that you are an empty nester now. And I would make that something that you have some degree of control over. You do not have a degree of control over your dating life. So you can date, that's fine, but I wouldn't replace that with something romantic. Okay, I'll replace that with something like what I told the previous caller, something that's connected to your values. Start adding more people in your life, friends, platonic connections, stuff that can help fill that void. And you can date in concert with that. but you must stop dealing with this person because this shit gets way worse than what it currently is. Way worse. Okay?
Right.
All right, dear. Well, I wish you the best, all right?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, you
Thank
take
you
care.
for being so kind.
You take care. All right, now no more calls. That one did it. No more calls now. But we do have a question. You can still drop it in the chat. What do we think about that one, chat? I know you have a lot to say. What do we think about that one? Go ahead, get it out. Let's get it out. Let's get it out. I know there's a lot of things, y'all. A lot of opinions. My day ones know that normally I'll turn up on somebody like that. There's new people here. They probably have the impression that, oh, he's super kind. I mean, I am kind, but I can be very stern. Very stern. The reason why I didn't go that direction with her is when somebody is like really within the grips of shame, you don't really want to shame them further because it's like, I'm not trying to have you hop off a building because of my response to you, right? So, but give people grace. Hopefully she'll take the advice. What's the name of that book I was thinking of? I forgot the name of it. Danny, were you trying to? Okay, I'll bring you up real quick. D Money.
I think now's a good time to pass the collection plate.
You want to pass the collection plate?
Yeah, I think that call was worthy of it. CC,
Maz,
lock the doors.
Maz, close the doors of the church real quick. Lock the doors. Pull out the AKs with the switch on them. And we're going to pass around the collection plate. We want big gifts. Big gifts. We don't want the small gifts. Keep the roses. Big gifts. You enjoyed your time here. If you've enjoyed the information, if it's been helpful for you, Danny has said that it's time to collect an offering. Danny, play the organ for me.
On it.
Play the organ for me real quick.
What's up? Jasmine said she's poor. Okay, we're going to hit up your ex and have him come back.
Thank you,
into
Nick.
your
I
life.
appreciate you. Thank you, Lindsay. Collection plate. God loves a cheerful giver, people. And what was missing from that statement is God loves when you're a cheerful giver to Marquette during his lives. I think that was in there. Don't quote me on that. It's in one of the it's in the New Living Translation, I think. Okay.
Let me see what I got for you. Let me check the.
So we want the big ones. If you have enjoyed your time here.
Let me look real quick.
Danny, forget about the organ. It'll take you way too long. We've already missed the window for that to be effectively funny. But yes, people, we've had a good time this evening, right? We've laughed, we've cried, we've been disgusted. Appreciate you, D Money. We've been disgusted for sure. But that's what you get here, folks. If you're new here, make sure to follow as well. I go live twice a day. I'll be live again tomorrow at noon Eastern time to answer some of these questions. I was gagged. I didn't get a laugh or cry. Right. We had some pretty good questions. It's been picking up a little bit around here, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, we're getting the juicy calls again.
Yeah,
we were a little dry for a bit, not gonna lie.
Yeah, just like not really in terms of people, but more so in terms of like callers, for whatever reason. But I'm not mad at it. Got some good stuff. I'm sure I got some.
The first month of summer.
Right, I got some good clips out of that. I made a love connection with Lolo, so I'm a happy camper.
Don't tell CJ.
I'm a happy camper, to be honest with you. My love life is non-existent, so I tap in to listen. Okay, so you're like kind of living vicariously through the callers. I got you. That makes sense. That makes sense. Octave, I feel like I recognize you. Not like in person, but no, I was thinking of somebody else.
All right. Well, I know the shareholders, they want their mark after dark, so I'll let them enjoy you.
All right, big dog. Appreciate you.
All right.
You take care.
Peace.
Danny was keeping all the mods up to like 3:30 a.m. last night. Stand by, Lolo. Stand by. Stand by. Do you recommend speed dating? Normally, no. I only will recommend it now because my boy Danny runs a speed dating event in Charlotte. Make sure y'all follow Danny, especially if you're in North Carolina for sure. I think it's twice a month he has a speed dating event. Now, that's my like answer for my love for Danny because I want him to succeed. If I didn't know Danny, fuck no. Don't go to speed dating. Don't do that. It's a lot of you're not gonna get what you want there. You're not gonna get what you want there. You're not gonna do it. Unless you're okay with like dealing with a man who doesn't really know what he's doing. Those are typically the ones who go to speed dating events. Give a lot of safety, not a lot of spark. You're gonna run into a lot of guys where it was like, oh, he was nice, I just didn't feel a spark. If that's the type of man you want, if you want the type of man where it's like, oh, he's nice, I didn't feel a spark. Okay, well then go to speed dating. Because you'll find a lot of those there. You'll find a lot of those there. I wish he would do matchmaking. I think he would be great at it for us. Listen, I've learned not to never say never because for the longest time I said I would never coach women, and what do you know? I'm coaching women now. But I don't desire to do so. I don't desire to do matchmaking at all. From like I don't have any experience with matchmaking. But I will say this. I've seen people who do matchmaking and then they'll make content about it, and it sounds like a very miserable job. Because people do not live in reality at all. At all. At all. They want the cream of the crop, which they are not a match for. They're delusional. So, but I certainly could. I could leverage this audience and do matchmaking, but I doubt I'll ever do it, to be honest with you. There's like a lot of people with a lot of money who think that because they have a lot of money, they deserve. I guess that's the mentality, right? You have money, so like money gets you so many things that it's like, why not love too? And it don't work that way. It don't work that way. No. You can't buy desire. You can't purchase it. It has to be authentically created. Dating with a physical disability has been difficult for me, but I still have hope. That's good, love. Keep that hope. Keep that hope. Keep that hope, for sure. What kind of disability? You don't have to share, but I'm curious. I need a visual. Like, are we on wheels or is there something else going on? Just give me clues. Like, if you only see stairs, do you get upset? If that's the situation, that'll tell me where I need to know. I will tell you this. I don't recommend dating apps often, but won't knock it if you have certain constraints like that. Won't knock it. Spinal muscular atrophy in a wheelchair. Okay, it's a wheelchair. Okay. Sorry you're going through that, love. So, what have you tried, Shaniqua? You want to know what's funny? My first crush was named Shaniqua in middle school. You just triggered me with your name. You just triggered me with your name. She turned me down, and I wanted to put her in a wheelchair. Hold on. You said dating apps? Which dating apps have you tried? You know what happened? I wrote a love note to her, and I never planned on giving it to her. And I had a female friend at the time who knew that I wrote a love note, and then like she snuck it out of my pocket and gave it to her. I said, "Oh no, I'm ruined. I'm ruined." We used to have to like line up like in front of the bathroom after lunch. We were never in the same class. I just knew of her. And I remember I had a jacket on one day, and I realized that the note was taken and they gave it to her. So while I was like lining up in the bathroom and she was in line for hers, I like hid my face behind the jacket the entire time. I forgot all about that. Just me seeing your name brought all that back. I was standing like this for a smooth 10 minutes in line trying to hide my identity. What a stupid thing to do. But I did it. Okay, so you say you use Hinge and Upwork. Okay. Okay. How's that been going for you? This is a very interesting problem to solve. I was going to make a recommendation. I'm not going to make it now. I'm going to tell you what I was going to recommend. There's an app called Field. It's a kink app. Stay with me. Stay with me. You're going to see some freaky shit up there. But what is also up there are people who do not experience, it's like the poly community and stuff. That's what it's made for. But it's like extended to people who have like those type of conditions, who are in very unique situations. I've seen a quadriplegic up there. Client sent me a photo. He was like, check this out. Just in bed. I said, oh, okay. Everybody wants love. Hold on. Gracie, you coming to Dallas or not, man? I'm tired of waiting on you. You're breaking my heart, love. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. We ain't been talking. We've been distant. It's not looking good, love. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. I'm meeting with a lawyer next Tuesday. We're gonna draw them papers up. I'm gonna need you to sign them. You ready to sign the papers? I don't want to do it. But you're forcing my hand right now. We got to figure out what we're going to do with the kids. I'm thinking 1 week on, 1 week off. You let me know how you feel about that. But, you know, shoot me a text, give me a call. Let me know what you're thinking, okay? How you want to proceed. I don't want this to get ugly, Gracie. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I was good to you, wasn't I? Huh? I was good to you. Think it can still work? I don't know. That's on Gracie. Okay. All right. Don't come for my money, Gracie. I bought you a lot of gifts. I took care of you. Don't you come. I built this before I met you. I built this before I met you. I don't want to hear nothing about no child support, none of that. I take care of my kids. Okay? Okay. Someone said alimony. That alimony shit is ridiculous. That alimony shit is ridiculous. Lolo, I know I didn't tell you that I was fully divorced yet. Me and Gracie are separated. We've been separated for years. We're just finalizing it. I can't help that me and you also connected. You know, sometimes life has a way of throwing you curveballs. I do my best. There's no rules for this shit, Lolo. I'm figuring it out. I'm human. Huh? There's a lot of things I don't know, but I do know one thing. We were meant for one another, okay? I'm not sure about much, Lolo, but I'm sure about that. I don't question it. Why would you? Could have gotten spousal support, but declined. Why did you decline? You'll have a quick question. What's going on, Brody? I'm not taking any more calls, but you can drop it in the chat. I'll gladly answer. I just wanted out. I get you. That makes sense. It was like a bad situation. Like what happened, if you don't mind sharing. I'm not gonna lie, I pay no mind to her. Did I miss something, bro? I think one of your comments may have been deleted. It was abusive. Yeah, you gotta get out of there. I started to like her within that last month. I told her I did, then she just dipped. So you told a woman that you liked her, and when you did that, she dipped. It's happening a lot these days. Me and Danny have had some discussions. We've had some powwows about the current affairs between men and women. Problems on each side. Can't get over a situationship. Time heals all love. Just give it time. But also, you don't need any reminders of that person's existence. Pretend as if they died. Have a funeral if you must. Dress in all black. You know what I mean? Have a big ass picture. Them with some wings on it. Eat some fried chicken after the service. Do what you need to do to grieve. But do not be following them on social media or engaging them actively. Don't do that. Why is avoidance so popular when it's loneliness epidemic? It seems counterintuitive. Well, there's a lot of people who are avoidantly attached, and there's a lot of people who are afraid of getting hurt, so they deploy the strategies of an avoidantly attached person. It is very counterintuitive, but it's counterintuitive because you're thinking like from the frame that people make decisions logically, and they do not. They make decisions emotionally. And then they justify the decision they made with logic. That's how that happens. They rationalize it. Current trend that we're seeing culturally, you know, I coach both men and women. And I have a coach, not currently, but I had a coach who has been doing it for a decade. And I have my own personal experience, and I have friends, most of which who are married. There's a pattern that is occurring in our society. And that pattern is a lot of women are actively running from relationships now. The moment things even start to seem like they're getting serious, a lot of them will run. They will run. And it's not just purely avoidant attachment. There's anxious women who will do that. They run. They get out of there. They don't do it if it's toxic, and they don't do it if it falls into a familiar pattern. But a lot of like quote unquote like decent guys will try to get into and I say decent guys because the guys I coach are good guys, because my content is a magnet for guys like that. My coach is the same way. He teaches men to like act in good faith, to be good men, good partners, cherish your woman, right? That's what he teaches. So the men who hire him have that orientation. A lot of these guys have been reporting back. The moment there's any kind, you even like suggest, just imply that you're heading to serious territory, they run. Should anxious men overcome avoidance by being warm but nonchalant at the same time? Should anxious men overcome avoidance? No. No, you just have to make peace with the fact that like they're gonna need their independence, and if that don't work for you, then you're just with the wrong person. She can't run if I wasn't eager in the first place. It ain't even about eagerness. I've seen situations where they run just off of like someone being like, I like you. Even something like that. It's like, nope, I'm out. I don't want. But here's the thing. This isn't like women who are like, oh, I want to be casual. These are women who will say that they want something serious. And here's my sneaky suspicion. They do want a relationship. They do want a relationship. If you hook them up to a polygraph test, right? A lie detector test, and you ask them, do you want a relationship, yes or no? They'll be like, yes. And then they'll be like, true, right? But the thing is, they don't anticipate how they will feel when that actually becomes a reality. And the feeling for a lot of them is like discomfort and anxiety. Because it's like, now I'm going to have to cut off other potential options. Now I'm going to have to lean into this connection. Now I'm going to have potentially get hurt, right? It's uncomfortable. When you're dreaming about like being married and stuff like that, you're not thinking about the process to get there and how you're going to feel during the process. And during that process, you may be a bit uncomfortable. So when you actually do walk that path and you feel that discomfort, you think something is wrong. Because when you imagine it, you don't feel this way. So you feel the discomfort and you're like, okay, well then it must be a problem here. I'm out. It's like, no, that's not it. That's not it. It's because people are burnt out, I think. All these situationships. We're not supposed to be this hyper connected to people and have all these romantic experiences. Going on date after date after date after date after date after date with different people. Having your heart broken this many times. Your nervous system can't handle it. You're in a constant state of dysregulation. So they run. So the deeper issue is our intolerance for discomfort in general. Oh yeah, that's the core of all these issues. That's the core of attachment style issues. Do you know to heal your attachment style is just do the shit that you're uncomfortable doing? For an anxious person, that's like, hey, be alone for some time. Tolerate ambiguity. It's not comfortable. But if you can tolerate it, you build capacity. For avoidantly attached people, it's like, hey, yeah, it's uncomfortable for you to lean into this connection. But if you tolerate it, you'll grow in capacity. People think shit's supposed to feel good. And in other words, they want to remain in their comfort zone. Not understanding that to get that which they have not experienced, it will require them to do that which they have not done. In other words, get out of their comfort zone. And they don't want to do that. They want to be as they've always been and get a new experience. I want to do everything the same way I've always done it, but then magically get everything I want. It makes my job incredibly difficult. Makes my job incredibly difficult, for sure. Zion pops in and out, Eva. He just don't call in anymore because he's master of his dating life. Keeps you in business, though, and business is good, Shiv. Business is good. I feel like Scrooge McDuck in this bitch. But hop in a pool full of gold coins. But I'm genuinely trying to help the best I can. We have to be vulnerable and uncomfortable. Right. Very true. I'm going to stay hopeful the right man will find me. That's the right mindset. Still got to do your part though, right? It's like some people say like, wait on God. It's like, yes, that's true because God controls the harvest. But you still have to be a good farmer. You still got to be a good farmer. You still got to make sure the soil that you're putting your seeds into is nutrient dense. That you're watering the seed daily. you know, tending to it, protecting it from pests, vermin that may try to destroy it, and people forget that they have to also be a good farmer in that equation. The seeds aren't going to plant themselves. What do you think about seafood? You want to go do seafood other than Chipotle? We can do seafood, love. We can do that. Get some Red Lobster biscuits. Hell yeah. I'm with it. I'm with that. Lolo, you better stop playing with me, love. We have a good little back and forth, but you better stop playing with me. All this insight, I'm soaking it up. I'm glad to see, love. I'm here to share. I am here to share. For sure. I want a girlfriend. I'm 18. Are you talking to women, bro? That's how you get one. Listen, for my guys out there, I'm gonna tell you this. Assuming you're not fat as shit. You know, you take care of your hygiene, your breath don't stink, you're not musty, you know. Handle that. Hop in the shower, you feel me? Spray the cheeks, get in there, right? Cover that. Assuming all that's covered, the thing holding you back, you're just not talking to enough women. If you just talk to more women, I made a video about this recently. I was like, bro, if you just talk to a lot of them, you would fall into a relationship at 18. If you just talk to more. Think of it like this. You're like 80 women away, not even that much. You're probably 20 women away from having a conversation with before you find a girlfriend. What if I told you that? If I told you that you were 20, that's going to be a piece of content. That's going to be a video. What if I told you that if you were 20 conversations away with different women from finding a girlfriend? If that were true, how quickly would you go and start talking to as many women as possible? It's going to be a volume game. Even if you don't learn like game or anything like that, just talking to more, you'll wind up. Not gonna lie, every woman I talk to wants me to be their man. Okay. Now, Mr. Bitches over here. Tell us your secrets. Tell us your secrets. Inquiring minds would like to know. Brother, the amount of men that still struggle with hygiene is crazy. The ladies be telling me, man. Ladies be telling me, parents not doing their job. Get the back of your neck and you scrub that hard. Get one of them little African rags. You have to have a purpose in a life outside of women. Makes you more interesting. I agree with that. See, you said something that is true. So now I'm more inclined to believe you. But I would say that probably a missing part of your explanation is the fact that you might be, I assume you're not looking for a relationship. So if you're like emotionally unavailable, it's the fastest way to get in one. Is to be, you know who's winning out here? Avoidantly attachment. Because a lot of women are used to that story. They're used to the story of like, I gotta chase him a little bit and try to get him, try to lock him down. That's the story they're used to playing out. They're not used to playing out the story of like, oh, I'm just here, right? This love is free. They're used to like, no, I gotta earn it. I gotta do something for it. So I need to like get mad and protest behavior and get upset. If you deprive me of me getting upset and chasing you, then I'm gonna find something wrong. Should women only date above and across? No, I mean, you're describing like hypergamy. I mean, listen, it's rough. We're naturally, yes, that's how it works. Naturally. But the way society is right now, that is a tall order. There's just not enough of those men for a lot of women. If you're like an average woman, like in terms of your earning potential, then sure, that mentality will work for you. If you're a woman who's like achievement oriented, you're gonna have a hard time, because you achieving what you have achieved doesn't make you more attractive to men, right? I'm not the first person to say this, but it does make men more attracted to you. There's asymmetry in what we are attracted to. The sexes are not, they don't respond to the same things equally. I know this big woman, big mama's house. She the mama and the house. And she is very well off. Very well off. She believes that her being that well off means she's supposed to get the most attractive, most successful. And I'm like, that's not how that works, love. I don't care how evolved we become as a society. You're going to have to cross that looks threshold. For sure. For sure. You're going to have to cross that. Absolutely. That's what makes things complicated, because both sides like project how they're attracted to the other side. You'll see this on dating apps, right? Like I've told this in the chat before, where if, like when I was on Hinge years ago, like a lot of women have like travel photos and stuff like that. Now, why do they have that? Well, in part because they find that quality to be attractive in men. So they're like, there's a bunch of them at like these exotic places. If they saw a man's profile and he was like well traveled like that, they probably would be like, ooh, right? We, generally speaking, do not care. It does not make you more attractive. You're appealing to the female gaze. You're trying to get a man. The equivalent of that is like you see a guy and he's like holding up a dead fish and taking a picture with it. You, as a woman, you're like, I don't give a fuck. Why are you posting this on a dating app? It's like, yeah, that's kind of how we feel with you in the pool, or like you like riding a horse on the beach, I guess. I don't know. Cliff diving. Don't care. Does nothing for me. So that's the situation. But people, I think that's really downstream though, because both sexes used to know like kind of what the opposite sex responded to. I think what I just described is downstream of our culture becoming more narcissistic and more self-focused. People think they're the main character. They cannot get out of their own heads, which then makes them poor romantic partners because they lack theory of mind. They can't see things from the other person's perspective. I tell guys and women, like, one thing that makes you more seductive and attractive is improving your theory of mind, looking at things from the other perspective of the person. Getting really good at that, you know? Getting really good at that. A lot of people, they can't do it. You won't, like, it's amazing how many people call in and have a question and they'll describe a situation, right? Maybe they're complaining about their boyfriend or girlfriend. And I just tell them to like flip it. Like, how would you feel if the shoe was on the other foot? What I'm describing right now is just empathy. But I'm like, theory of mind is like an extension of that. Empathy is like, how would you feel in this situation? Theory of mind is like, no, how is that person feeling, right? A person who's not you, who has a different inner world than you have. I doubt most of us are cognitively even capable of that empathy. There is an IQ limitation to theory of mind. Empathy, I don't think so. Empathy, they're just not considering it, would be my guess. But theory of mind definitely has IQ constraints. Definitely. That's a higher cognitive task for sure. There's a lot of micro skills you got to have, pattern recognition, all types of things to do that. But just simple empathy, like me flipping it. How would you feel if this happened to you? And then so many callers are like, yeah, I guess I wouldn't like it. I'm like, well, why have you not asked yourself that question yet? And even when people try to see other perspectives, they straw man and don't represent their POV perfectly. I like you, Apple user. You're smart. I can tell. Intelligent person. I like smart people. You should come to the live more often. You should come to the live more often. We gotta offset some of the limited ones who sometimes pop in. Those with limitations, huh? I was reading like a study on this wasn't a study. You probably seen what I'm talking about. There was this it wasn't a study. It was like one of those like online forums, and the guy was talking about how he was like doing writing a paper or something on IQ. I forgot what the contest was, but they went to a prison. They were talking to inmates, and he was talking about like some of the IQ limitations. And he was like, below a certain IQ, you can't even think hypothetically anymore. So the question that they proposed to a lot of inmates was, if you didn't eat breakfast today, how would you feel? And their response was, but I did eat breakfast. And he's like, well, I know you ate breakfast. Yeah, the breakfast one. He was like, I did it. I know you ate breakfast. Yeah. But like, if you didn't eat breakfast, how would you feel? And they were like, I don't understand the question. Like, I ate breakfast today. You're right. But like, if you didn't though, how would you feel if you didn't? And they would get like mad. Like, I told your ass I ate breakfast. I had turkey sausage, some eggs, and orange juice, motherfucker. Why you keep asking me these questions? Shank. Right? Like, that's wild. And it's genuinely not their fault. Exactly, bro. Like, it's sad. It's sad. That's one thing that I like have to check myself on, because sometimes I'll be quick to be like, you fucking dumbass, like, what are you doing? But some like motherfuckers can't help this shit. Like, they can't help it. It's not as simple as, oh, read a book real quick. IQ will even govern what you're interested in. I think if you're below 10-point deviation away in IQ, you can't be with the person romantically, because it will feel as if you're talking to a child. You just can't be. That was one of my first viral videos when I got into dating coaching. I was like, you got to be in the same kind of IQ bandwidth. Not like literally, like what's your score? Okay, here's my, not literally, but just like generally, right? It's like, why don't you understand this? I don't have y'all been there? You've been in a conversation with someone, and like what you're saying, you're like, this should be obvious. Like, this should be obvious. And then the person doesn't get it, and you're like, okay, let me simplify. Let me say this in another way. And then you say it in another way, and you simplify it further. And then they still don't get it, and maybe they start getting a little irritated. And you're like, oh, what's going on? Okay, here's what I'm saying. And then you like say it again in an even more simplified way. And they still don't get that shit. And it's like, what is happening right now? What is going on? I can't take it. I can't take it. I cannot take it. I cannot take it. I think sometimes when people are like, I was gaslit, were you gaslit, or was there an IQ gap here? And they just did not understand what the fuck was going on. I just tell them, never mind, because me repeating myself is a pet peeve of mine, right? My partner gets my quirks. It makes me believe more and more we are meant to be. That's good. I'm happy for you. See, we need more positive stories like that. You know? We need more positive stories. People who are in good situations. It's so confusing. It's like, one is glitching. Boy, I hate that shit. I gotta just walk away. And I don't walk away because I'm hard-headed. Because I'm like, no, I got it. Here's what I'm saying. And I'll keep doing it over and over and over again. And it's like, So like the heavily drunk version of your mind is basically some people's default. Right. 100%. And it's sad because they didn't choose that. Essentially, some of us are walking through life functionally inebriated. They didn't choose it. Like I'll tell myself, like sometimes I'm like, oh, dumb as shit. I'm like, but wait. Possibly that person cannot help that. It chose them, right? Person possibly cannot help that, and that is a sad situation. Only to a point though, because they're not even aware. Because people like that, they typically think they're very intelligent, also. And it's like, God bless you. God bless you. There's a vast number of college students that are reading at a middle school level. I think one of the biggest contributors, one of my favorite memes ever is the Midwit meme. It's one of my favorite memes ever because it captures so much truth in it, man. Have y'all seen the Midwit meme? You know what I'm talking about? It shows the bell curve. It's like IQ's at the bottom, and then it's like the low IQ person, and then the middle of the bell curve, right? And then the high IQ person, and then like the dumb person and the high IQ person typically come to the same conclusions for different reasons. And then those in the middle tend to overcomplicate things because midwits typically think that if something sounds more complex, it is thus more correct. It's very, very interesting stuff. Might be a neurodivergence thing. I don't know. But the explanation to that was, so it's like, here's the explanation to that phenomenon. Why people with like average IQ tend to be wrong, and then low IQ people and high IQ people tend to come to very similar conclusions for different reasons. Here it is. The low IQ people navigate life through experience. They're not reading books, they're not learning like different concepts. So they're touching the stove and they're like, that's hot. I'm not going to touch that again. They need to learn through experience. Midwits tend to read a lot. They conceptualize a lot. They if they read something, they'll believe more what they read than their actual experience. If you've seen the movie The Hobbit, the guy who was like in his room like reading about adventures, and then the dwarves came and they're like, you should actually have an adventure. That was a midwit, right? So I'm gonna read the book, and I debate these kind of guys all day. They try to tell me what women are attracted to because they read a evolutionary psychology book, but they never actually talked to a woman before, right? So they're conceptualizing a lot. But one of my favorite mental models is the map is not the territory. Any maps are very useful at helping you navigate life, but it's not the territory. If I handed you a map of our city, it will help you navigate the city. But when you actually go to the city, you'll see certain nuances that the map didn't capture. Books are maps. YouTube videos are maps. This live is a map. Direct experience is the territory. The map is not the territory. Okay? Now here's why the high IQ people and the low IQ people tend to come to similar conclusions. It's because the high IQ person is the synthesis of the midwit and the low IQ person. Meaning the high IQ person in this meme is factoring in direct experience and conceptual knowledge and synthesizing them. And direct experience is going to trump conceptual knowledge every day of the week. If you read books about attraction, it's never going to help you understand attraction until you actually go out there and get direct experience. Like I think you demonstrate this well every time someone comes up and you ask them questions, and I can. Okay, finish your thought. Appreciate it. Sounds like a compliment is coming, but I appreciate it. Now, why does low IQ come to the same conclusion? Because they're basing their North Star in life is their direct experience. And experience is closer to reality than the map, or aka the book, the YouTube video, the lecture. Direct experience is closer to reality than the map. The map can help you navigate reality, but it can't possibly capture every single nuance. Experience has its limitations as well, but it's better than just simply the map. If you had to choose one, either books and YouTube videos and stuff, or direct experience is going to be more useful for you. So basically every question your guest answer is calibrating your conclusion slightly until you've reached it. Yep. I have a very intuitive process. It's weird. When I'm like asking questions on this live, I'm not thinking of anything. When I have an answer, I feel it in my body. And I know what that sensation is. I'll give you an example. Dan Harmon is one of my favorite screenwriters. And he writes TV shows like Community, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. And he was saying that when he comes up with TV show ideas or episode ideas, he knows that he found a really good episode idea when he starts writing it out and he gets like goosebumps. And then that's when it's like he subconsciously connected the patterns and knows that this is a good episode, right? I do that same thing on this live when I'm asking questions. I'll keep asking questions until I feel that sensation in my body, which then sends the signal to me that I have an answer. And then I just start talking. And I don't think about what I'm going to say when I'm talking. I just start talking and then shit comes out that makes sense. So I've unconsciously like connected the patterns and like, I keep asking questions until I unconsciously get to coherence, where all the data points connect to a conclusion. And if there's any discrepancies, I keep asking questions. Appreciate you, Serena. I do that with my coaching calls too. I don't think. I'm not like, oh, well, let me think about. No, it's for like, okay, what question pops into my head? I'll ask that. Okay, another question pops into my head. I'll ask that. And I'll keep going until it's like a click internally. And I'm like, okay, I got it. And I just start talking. Okay, can you explain how you approach the way you rule out and develop assumptions? I think it's really just a lifetime of Holy Spirit is a great answer. This is definitely an anointing. But if we want to go the nerd direction, I've read a ton of books, bro. And I'm really good at metacognition. So I think about how I think. And I have a ton of mental models. If you want like a book that's going to help your judgment, read the book, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. He's an investor. And it's a book just on like his wisdom. So yeah, I have a lot of like mental models in my head. So it helps me like with the logic. But anyway, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. It will improve your judgment. There's another book called Thinking in Bets. Thinking in Bets was written by this woman who's a professional poker player. The premise of the book is don't try to think in black and white terms or come to black and white conclusions. Instead, think probabilistically. So what is the probability this is right? That adds more color to your thought process. Annie Duke sounds right, and that might be her name. But yeah, Thinking in Bets is a good one. So I'm okay. This is likely the situation. Wait, 80% sure this is the situation. It improves your decision making. It got me nerding out right now. What time is it? 11:30. Okay, y'all got me here 30 minutes later talking about my favorite subject, which is books. I'm going to head out now. If you're new here, make sure to follow. I'll be live again tomorrow at noon Eastern time. If you want coaching, you know what to do. DM me the word coach. Apple users, DM me. I didn't see the question, but if you really want to answer to it, just DM me and I'll answer the question. But yeah, if you want coaching, DM me the word coach. I'll send you a link to book your call. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. All right, people. Good live. Appreciate the mods. Appreciate the chat. I will see you all tomorrow. Y'all take care.